Hey guys, the NVIDIA RIVA TNT2 M64 is one of those video cards that you don't need to look for. They somehow manage to find you, be it as part of a graphics card bundle or maybe it came with a desktop PC that you stripped for some parts. The game in the background today is incoming. I picked this game as the TNT2 is the last NVIDIA card to display this game correctly and without any glitches. And it looks absolutely gorgeous with 32-bit colors and running at 1024 by 768. In a previous video we reviewed the RIVA 128 and how it compares against the TNT, and I got quite a few comments asking to compare it against the M64. When you search for a TNT2 on eBay, you will find the majority of listings are for the M64, so let's find out what this card can do and how it compares. We have the Diamond Viper V550 representing the RIVA TNT, the M64 is a model from Gigabyte, and we also have the faster Diamond Viper V770, which is a proper TNT2 with the full 128-bit memory interface. We're using a slot 1 Windows 98 retro gaming PC with a Pentium 3 running at 600 MHz and 256 MB of RAM. In 3D Mark 2000, we can see that the M64 offers similar performance to the TNT, but in 99 Max it is a little bit in front. In incoming, all cards are CPU limited at the 320 by 240 resolution and get the same result. We will see this in all the games we are looking at today. At 640 by 480, the M64 does very well, but as we increase the resolution, it loses more performance compared to the other cards. We can see a similar trend with Expendable, but all cards manage playable 30 FPS at 1024 by 768. In GLQUAKE, the M64 performs pretty much like the older TNT, and we can see the TNT2 performing much stronger. In Quake 2, well, it paints a similar picture. The M64 shadows the TNT, with the TNT2 in front. And in MDK2, we are CPU limited, even at 640 by 480, so it's only at 800 by 600 and 1024 by 768 that the cards are showing a spread. The M64 sits nicely in between the TNT and TNT2. Now, usually I don't like to overclock old retro hardware, but I've got so many TNT2 M64 cards, and overclocking is definitely something you did with such a mainstream video card back in the day. Because this card has half the memory bus and therefore half the memory bandwidth, overclocking the memory is what will give you the largest performance boost. The Gigabyte card we're using today, well, it turned out to be a great overclocker. I maxed out the slider in the driver and we have the memory running at 180 MHz, which is quite an improvement from the stock 143 MHz. Overclock the TNT2 M64 is basically a TNT 1.5, ending up performance right in between the TNT and TNT2. All the results are at 1024 by 768, and we're seeing a nice performance boost with all games running smooth with at least 30 FPS. The image quality is a bit average depending on the card you have, especially at high resolutions. But with the performance we saw in the benchmarks, this graphics card is really more suited for lower resolutions like 800 by 600, and here the image quality is quite decent. Compared to 3DFX Voodoo cards, we can use 32-bit colors and we also get higher quality textures in many games. DOS performance and compatibility is also very good, and this card is also available as a PCI version for motherboards that don't have an HEP slot. So let's summarize the NVIDIA RIVA TNT2 M64. It is a great alternative to the regular TNT, most of the time even being a little bit faster. Overclocking the memory gives you a nice performance boost, and if you're not collecting, I see very little point in getting the TNT over the M64. The TNT2 M64 is also readily available on eBay and really cheap. And that's it for this video. Leave a comment and let us know what you think of this video card and any ideas for future videos. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please subscribe and click on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon with another one.